I want to tell you a story that happened recently with a client that we helped that will help your listeners understand just how much better their life can be if they have anxiety and fear. Because what we do is so incredible, it's tough for people to comprehend. I know it because I feel it every day. Our clients feel it, but it's tough to really share how good it can be. So let me tell you a story just to try. This was, I think, 2.5 months ago. Her name was Stacy from Oregon. She reached out to us and she said, I've had anxiety and panic attacks since as long as I can remember. And she said, and I've tried everything. I mean, everything. She said, I've tried therapy. I've tried spirituality. I've tried meditation. I've tried the apps. I've tried the pills. I've done the retreats. She said, and nothing solves it. And I've basically given up hope that I'm just stuck with this. And she said, and worst of all, my kids right now are in the living room wanting to play games, and I'm not there with them. I'm here hiding in the den. And not only am I not with them, but then I feel guilty and horrible that I'm not a good mom. And then she goes, also, I'm just not happy anymore. And my husband misses his happy wife, happy wife, happy life. There's no happy wife. And she said, but I met somebody at a party who you had helped. And they said that they also had anxiety their whole life and they felt trapped and we helped them. She said, so I'm skeptical, but you only charge at the end once you help people. So it's worth a shot. And I said, it's worth a shot. And she said, how are you going to do it? Like, how are you going to do it? It doesn't seem possible. And I said, no, I know it doesn't seem possible, but here's what we're going to do. And I explained to her what we do. And basically I explained to her that, anxiety is not a problem of your mind, but of your body, specifically your nervous system. And I told her that essentially, systems in the body can kind of fail. And then there's all these symptoms. If your teeth fail and you need a root canal, there's these painful symptoms. Well, your nervous system can sort of crash and fail, and you have these painful symptoms called anxiety. And so what we basically do is we go deep and you repair your nervous system so you have a strong nervous system. When you have a strong nervous system, the symptom goes away. And I could tell she sort of liked it because it was a logical, simple way to explain things, but I could tell it just didn't grab her. And she said, yeah, that makes sense, but how am I going to feel? Like, how am I going to really, what does that even mean to have a strong nervous system? And I said, oh, that's what she wants to know. How's she going to feel? Because if you just tell someone you'll be less anxious, that's like, we're going to minimize the negative, but it's hard for the brain to process a double negative. So I said, okay, this is what's going to happen. I said, when you have a crashed, fragile nervous system, you feel a certain way. And I'm going to describe the way that you probably feel and tell me if this resonates with you. And she said, okay. And I said, when you have a crashed, fragile nervous system, the way you feel almost all the time for no reason is you feel unsafe. I said, do you feel unsafe? And she said, oh, God, yeah. And I said, okay, for how long? And she said, since I was a kid. I said, exactly. Well, welcome to the club. She said, yeah, my parents were limited and they did stuff and I just have never felt fully safe since. And I said, exactly. And I said, can you understand that on some deep level, you feel unsafe deep down, and then that creates a sense of fear, and then you call that sense of fear anxiety and panic? And she said, yeah, I can absolutely see that. So I said, so we don't get rid of the anxiety or the panic attacks. What we do by strengthening your nervous system is you go from feeling unsafe to safe. And she said, you can do that? I said, just buckle up. That's what we do. And she said, I haven't felt safe since I was a kid. And I said, I know. And she said, oh my God, that would be incredible. And I said, so you're going to get rid of the anxiety and I get to feel safe? I said, no, you feel unsafe and the anxiety goes away. It's the same thing, but yes, you get to feel unsafe. You get to feel safe. And she said, oh my God, that would be incredible. She said, I don't fully believe you, but that sounds great. And I said, okay, well, let's go for it. And we did. And I think it was around the 4th week into the program, she reached out to me and she just said, Daniel, thank you so much. And I said, what? And she said, this morning I just woke up, and she said, for the first time since I was a kid, I woke up and I just felt safe. And I said, and? And she said, and the anxiety and panic attacks stopped at the same time. She said, I haven't felt that way in my entire life, and it feels so good to feel that way. But she said, but also now that I feel safe, the anxiety and panic goes away. And she said, I got to start playing with my kids again. And I started to be that happy wife that my husband fell in love with. And she just said, thank you. She said, not only do my kids have their mom back and my husband has their wife back, my husband have his wife back, but I now know not only how to feel safe from the inside out, but now I can give my kids a gift that my parents couldn't give me, which is I can help them feel safe so they're not anxious. She said, what you're doing in this world, it's not about anxiety and panic attacks and fear. You're showing people how to be safe so they can be free of that pain and show up for themselves and the people they care about and the whole planet at the highest level. And I was like, I know, it's pretty incredible. So to your listeners out there, if the idea of just feeling safe from the inside out, just that's your default, sounds good to you, and maybe you haven't felt it your whole life, but you'd like to feel it now, and you'd like to know how to raise kids that can feel safe. If that sounds good to you, then please come find us, because that's what we're doing. We're not in the anxiety business or the fear business. We're in the safety from the inside out business. And if you want a piece of that, come find us. Just come find us. Safety. It's the new wealth.